Hi, this is challenge 16 of the Reverse Security Christmas Challenge of 2021. And this challenge is not really one of my favorite ones. It involves a lot of manual labor, but let's get into it. I'm going to do a pretty short version of it. So going to the challenge selection site, we're picking challenge 16 and it says a scary command. It's the title of the challenge, and the text is the following one. Sometimes while monitoring networks and machines or doing incident response, we find some obfuscated commands. We didn't have time to deobfuscate this, and it is not recommended to just run it. Could you help us with it? So the idea with this challenge is to do a series of deobfuscations, and it's going to be pretty manual. If you download this shell script, what you will find is this one here. So for this challenge, I'm just going to use CyberChef and Notepad++, not the Cal Linux VM. What you need to do is essentially pick the variables here that you see here in the obfuscated code and do match and replace. I'm going to do one layer. The next layer is going to be exactly the same one, and then I'm just going to kind of explain the different transformations that you will have to do. So the next layer, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but just to demonstrate how it's done. Here's the first layer. So we see here some random variable names, and there's an eval command here at the very end. Plus we have this x variable here. And this is also an eval which has these variables that we can see in the first line. So what we need to do is essentially just take this and do a replace on this with the value that it represents. So this is just going to be nothing. And I'm going to replace these variables. That's it. And I picked up here the first one. Let's see where W is. I'm going to just find it. Where's the... Oh, because it's a variable. So it's search for W equals maybe. Oh, that's the letter E. Fantastic. And just find them, and I'm going to do replace, and that's it. So next variable is the letter C. C equals, and we're going to just look for it. That's CH. And right next, I'm going to replace this. And that's it. These are all the occurrences for this. Right, next one is this weird looking one, which apparently is, again, just an empty string. Very easy. By next, replace here. And there are no more. Then a variable called D is the letter O. $D is going to be replaced by the letter O. Replace this, and only one occurrence, of course. Then we have here the letter S is a variable name, which is this whole big base64 blob. And I am not going to place that one right now. Instead, I'm going to go with the variable B, which is this string here. $B. I next place only one occurrence. Then the next variable is the letter V, which is a string. I think it's just a B. By next, sorry, dollar. Just one should probably pick match case. Then another empty string variable here. So find next, replace. A variable called letter F. And it's this string over here. Find it, replace it. This one here is a variable that is string. So the number 6. And then variable with the name capital L. Surprisingly, that's a 4. Probably not that surprising. You probably are already had of me, and you see the pattern and what the solution will be. This one is manually going to replace this. I probably should have done a better job with the quotes, but those will just cancel out each other. And yeah, the last part that I need here is the variable s, and oh, I still have here the eval. Okay, this is empty. It's just the like I'm missing here a quote because the number of quotes doesn't add up, but I mean at this point I just couldn't care less. So it should be like this. I'm not sure where I missed it, but you get the general idea. So this is kind of echo, and then I need to take the whole variable here plus the new line and whatever, and we're going to replace this. So this is the sort of first layer, but we're going to do some cleanup on this. So that's was the original, and I did the whole thing here on this challenge file, which wasn't my intention, but it's fine. So this is the end result that we arrived to, and I can get rid of the double quotes here to clean it up a little bit, and this is going to be the final nice cleaned code, obfuscated code. Let me just close this, and as we can see, we need to take this blob now, reverse it, and then base64 decode it. This is something that CyberChef can do easily. I'm going to reverse this, and then it offers me to use the magic wand, so I'll take that. And now we have more shell code here. Fantastic. I mean bash shell code, not that kind of shell code. So we can continue with the new snippet that we got as a result. And the idea is the same as before. You have to replace this, or well, sort of you can just YOLO and try to drop this into CyberChef, which will give you a new set of obfuscated code. So this is cleaning it up. Oops, that's already towards the end result. So cleaning it up and getting this base64 encoded data, which after reversing it and decoding it will result into this one. Now we have here only 2 variables here, so we just need to replace them as before and clean up a little bit. So this is now we're on layer 3 of the obfuscated code. As you can see, this is just base64 decoding. I'm going to do this with CyberChef, so disable the reverse, and now we have this echo command. If we are not executing the whole thing, just echoing it until this part, then there can be one way to deobfuscate this, but essentially you can, I believe, I can't remember what was the step that I took here. So Let's refresh my memory. So this is really just a hex. And you can tell CyberChef to decode this. Oh, really? It's not gonna do a from hex for me? I'm gonna move these two like this. Okay. And this is a curl command here that we're gonna end up with. This one over here. Taking a closer look at this, this part seems like base 64, and it also seems like that it's the same value twice. And let's go back to CyberChef. I'm going to enable this, and that's the actual flag here without executing this whole obfuscated thing. So just for being prudent, let's check the flag. And indeed, this is the correct flag value for the challenge 16. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this wasn't exactly my favorite challenge, but again, it's a very realistic one. This level of obfuscation is very, very common in attacker payloads, so it's useful and important to know how to do the deobfuscation. Some part of it will be very label intense and manual. I actually skipped the layer 2 part, as you saw, because I just didn't feel like going through that one. But often you will find this with PowerShell. In case of Linux systems, it's probably going to be some obfuscated bash shell script maybe, and JavaScript is really huge on obfuscation. So it is a realistic challenge. I just don't really like doing this kind of work, but nevertheless, it's a great challenge. This is all for this video. I'm going to continue with the next challenge in the next video.